In today's ever-changing, fast-paced society, our time is becoming more and more limited, and we need to figure out how we can get things done in a more effective and efficient way. So after watching this video, you'll have the tools and strategies to be a very effective and efficient person. Back when I was in college, most of my classmates were very interested on how I was able to study only a fraction of the time they did and still get better scores. One of my strategies was the Pomodoro Technique. This is a very simple yet very effective technique that allowed me to concentrate and focus on one task using a point system. Before a final test, most of my classmates would study weeks ahead while I would only study one day for each of my classes, usually the day before. This technique was developed by Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s. And the process goes like this. First, select the task that you will be focusing on. In my case, study one subject for a final test. Second, grab a timer, or your phone will do, and set a timer for 25 minutes. Next, get to work. You have committed yourself to just 25 minutes of work, so make sure to eliminate any distractions. Once the timer goes off, take a 5-minute break. This will let you relax and rest. It is always recommended to take your break in another place other than your workstation. Doing something active like stretching is also a great benefit, especially if you work in front of a computer or do something repetitive. This 25 minutes of work followed by a 5-minute break is a Pomodoro cycle, or a point. Once you completed 4 cycles, take a longer break of 20 to 30 minutes. The main purpose of the Pomodoro Technique is to limit distractions during the work periods to help you increase your focus by allowing you 5 minutes of distraction every 25 minutes. Because it is easier to commit to just 25 minutes of work at a time rather than the daunting 4-hour commitment. The great thing about this is that every 25 minutes you'll have a 5-minute period where you can do anything you like before refocusing on the task. This can be a sort of incentive program to reward your work. Once you've done this, you'll have a good idea of how many points or pomodoros you need in order to accomplish a task. Now, it doesn't have to be 25 minutes of work, it all depends on your ability to focus. 25 minutes is a great start, but if you build your focus endurance, you can increase your focus time to bigger blocks of time. Number 2, the power hour. Most people have a certain time of the day that they are the most productive. For many entrepreneurs, it's early in the morning, since early in the morning when you wake up is typically when your willpower is the strongest. This golden hour can bring a great opportunity to focus on the most important task of your day. Number 3, block your time. Something that is very interesting is that we are good at blocking time with others, like doctor's appointments, but many don't do it for themselves. This can be one of the most important techniques to be more effective, because when we don't have a plan, we tend to lose time trying to figure out what to do. And in many cases, we just don't do anything due to the lack of structure. But by figuring out what tasks need to be done ahead of time, we can give these tasks a time in our schedule with beginning and ending times. It is important to give these tasks an ending time because things tend to adapt to the time we allowed to them, or what is called the Parkinson's law. By giving these tasks a starting and ending point in our schedule, we are motivated to focus and finish because that's the only time we've given it. Plus, this gives us structure and a plan of attack instead of wandering around trying to figure out what to do. Number 4, assign monetary value to your time. You know what they say, time is money. And a great way to give your time value is to literally assign monetary value to your time. This way, you can put a $sign on the time that you procrastinate. Imagine going to the garbage can and taking out a $20 bill, ripping it up, and throwing it in the garbage. Not a very happy thought. Now think about the time we spend scrolling through social media or finding ways not to be productive. Let's say that you can normally generate $20 for an hour of your time, just as an example. Now, if you spend 3 hours watching a TV show and not doing anything productive, you'll be throwing away about $60 worth of your time. This is especially important for entrepreneurs since entrepreneurs don't have the 9-to-5 lifestyle and their money is directly impacted by what they do with their time. Have you ever had a night where you didn't sleep well and the whole next day you couldn't focus on anything? I have definitely been there. Now this varies from person to person. Some people sleep less than others and still have the ability to focus. Others need more sleep in order to function normally. Now, whether you sleep 4 hours a night or 7 hours a night, you will still need rest to be able to maximize your focus. I, for example, have periods of time where I can sleep 4 hours a night and still feel refreshed. And there are other periods where I need at least 7 hours in order to be able to focus. So getting adequate sleep can play an important role in becoming more productive. Number 6, avoid time vampires. Now, in many cases, other people tend to distract you and take your time away from you and your work. We call these time vampires because these are people that come in with unimportant things to take your time. They might not have important things to do like you do, so they spend their time taking other people's time away. And if you let them, they will suck all of your time away from you. So as much as you can, avoid time vampires. And if you get stuck with them, here's a little strategy. First, set a time constraint. Let them know that you are busy, and if what they have to say is very important, let them email you instead so you can take a look when you have time. When you are busy and obvious about it, people tend to interrupt you less. Alright guys, if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and be part of the notification family because we got a lot of videos coming up soon. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.